Hey guys, welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys joining me for today's episode. And guys, I am freaking pissed out of my mind right now about something that just happened, and I just got to do a video on it. I got to share this with you guys, got to get it off my chest. And when I get done with the story, I know most of you guys will be able to relate to this because it's something that's widespread. It's not just happening here where I'm at, all over the country. We're going to get into that in today's video. Definitely look forward to hearing your guys' comments on that. Also, guys, before we do get started, I just want to extend a big thank you out there to everybody that's taking time to subscribe here to Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated that. Also, guys, I just want to make everybody aware about our Intuitive Angling channel memberships and our Patreon program. Channel members, guys, get free videos every week that aren't seen by the public, and you get my email address for your personal fishing questions, so you can email me back and forth about it. Just go to my YouTube homepage, click the join button there for information. And again, thank you for everybody that's also been using all the links I put in my video descriptions. Really appreciate that, and appreciate you guys putting up the plugs there. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go over this from the start and sort of explain to you what happened here. Sort of a long story, but by the time we get done with it, I think that you guys will find this thing pretty interesting. Okay, the area that I live in Springfield, Missouri, and the part of Springfield I live in, it's in the middle of this. It's like a equestrian Clydesdale type area. There's there's like a 2-mile area where I live at, where there's just a bunch of horse farms, Clydesdales and different horses. It's been like that forever, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it's just, you drive out here sort of outside the city a little bit, and you got these peaceful horse farms, and you have deer and turkey standing everywhere. It's just a beautiful area. So anyway, about probably, 9 months ago, one of the people that live out there sold off about 180 acre section of property right along the main road there, and a developer bought it, and they're going to put in 200 and something houses, like cookie cutter subdivision, right in the middle of this equestrian beautiful area, which really irritated the neighbors big time. I didn't even know about this. They had a zoning and planning commission on it, but I didn't even hear about it, and they pushed it through, and anyway, they started building all these houses there. But what happened was another developer, there was another piece of property about a half mile down the road that was a Clydesdale horse farm. This developer bought it and came in there, and he wanted to get this rezoned commercial so he could do commercial development, right there in the middle of the horse farm area. And the problem with this here is, like I said, this is not an area where commercial development needs to be. You got family farms there, you got horse ranches. The aesthetics of the area is not conducive whatsoever to any type of commercial development. And all of the land around here is zoned agricultural, rural residential. It's not zoned commercial. So this developer came in there and wanted to have it rezoned commercial so he could develop it commercially right there along the road where the horse farms are at. When this came out, everybody in the neighborhood was outraged by it. And they had a planning commission meeting last month. So all the residents of the area here went there, including myself. I spoke there at the commission meeting, and there was a 6-person commission meeting. And the preliminary, after they heard the developer talk about it and they heard all the residents talk about it, the planning commission voted 5-1 to deny the developer's request to have it zoned commercially. But it has to have a final vote at the zoning and planning commission thing, which was this morning that I just went to, and it's a 3-board member. Just so happened, the only goob on the planning commission that voted to side with the developer was one of the commissioners right off the bat. So there's 3 of them there. Okay, so today at the meeting, get up there, and there's in the courtroom we're at, on one side you got the developer and his attorney or whatever, and on the other side of the courtroom, it's standing room only of residents. All the residents in the area there, would be affected by this. Standing room only. So we get up there, and probably 15 of us talked to the committee, and we expressed our concerns. We went over in detail about the aesthetics of the area and how this would ruin the area. It puts more light pollution in there, it puts more traffic. It puts more traffic for all the children that have to get to school around this particular area. And the fact that this area has historically been zoned as an equestrian area. That's what made it special. It's equestrian over there. It's like, there's not another place in town like it. So we had, for like an hour, there's like 15 of us got up there and just hammered away at the reasons why this shouldn't, be approved. And the developer gets up there and he talks, basically it's like, I bought this property, I want to do what I want to do with it. That was his argument. Everybody else that actually lives there that's affected by this and all the concerns we have about it spent well over an hour just hammering these excellent points over and over and over. So anyway, after they had the meeting, after we had our meeting, the commissioners voted on it, and they voted unanimously to side with the developer with this, against the 100% opposition to every single resident in the area. They ignored everybody's concern. They ignored all the points that we made, and they went to the developer, sided with him simply because he bought the property and wanted to develop it. Guys, this is what is fundamentally screwed up about this country, and it's the point of this video I want to get into. You guys have heard me talk about this before, about the developers and the problem that we have with the developers in correlation with the zoning and planning commissions. The zoning and planning commissions in this country are in cahoots with the developers, and 9 times out of 10, they will side with the developers every freaking single time, regardless of the opposition of the public community against that. Now, why is this? What is the point beyond that? Why do you side with the minority over the majority when there's no value to it? Because here, let me give you an example in our situation. When you're looking at the value of an area within a town, it's like, how do you place value on an area where you can drive through it and you have these beautiful equestrian horse farms with these majestic Clydesdales out there in the fields and all this type of stuff? Which is more valuable, that or a freaking coffee shop or a vape shop put in where the equestrian farm was? This is what's fundamentally screwed up about this country, is that we have become a society that is so pro-growth and so anti-environment and have no vision for the future about what this country is going to look like at the current stage of development, that it is just, I don't know, the stupidity behind it is just mind-blowing. Because it's just like this developer got up there and he said, all this is going to be developed commercially eventually. And I got up there and said, this is a bunch of BS right here. This is not destined to be, developed commercially. The only thing that will allow this to be developed commercially is if the committee agrees to grant these permits to the developers. It's not written in stone. And that's what I told the board. It's like, there is no reason whatsoever. There's not one single reason that you should grant this permit to this developer in light of the public opposition and what it's going to do to the aesthetics of this area. And when I was up there, I could tell something was up, because when I was looking at those guys up there, the commissioners, I could already tell they'd made up their mind. They were looking through me. They weren't looking at me. They weren't listening to me. They were just going through the motions. And it didn't make any difference what we said or what we could have said. They had made their mind up before that meeting ever started that they were going to side with the developer. And you guys have seen the same thing in your town. I know you guys have. One thing, I've lived here in Southwest Missouri my whole life. So I've seen the degradation of our environment and how the developers just run roughshod over everything because they don't have any pushback from the zoning and planning commissions. And as a result, you see wildlife degradation, you see wildlife habitat disappearing at an alarming rate, you see increased pollution levels on all the lakes and rivers across where these areas are affected. It's going on everywhere in this country. It's going on the lakes, it's going on in your community. There's not a single place that's untouched by this. And this is what I talk about when I say man destroys everything they touch, because they're too stupid to see the long-term picture with this. Because here's the thing about it. It's like when you sell off a tract of 150 acres and put a housing development in there, where you sell off a 30-acre tract and put a strip mall in it, where does it end? It's like, think about this. Where is the end to this? Where's the end game? If this goes on decade after decade after decade, imagine the world that we're going to leave to our grandchildren as a result of that. Just in the short time that I've lived here in the area that I've lived, I have seen an unbelievable amount of development just over the past 4 years. So you put another 40 years upon that, what that was going to look like? That's what these zoning and planning commissioners don't understand. Every one of these zoning and planning commissioners I have ever been around, and I've been around a lot of them, they are nothing but pro-growth, balls to the wall, bigger, 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 make more and more money, give the developers anything they want, screw the environment, screw the public, screw the public opposition, grow, 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 get bigger, 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 bigger. It's ignorant. It's ignorant, it's pathetic, it's stupid, it's destructive. And if we continue on this, path that these goobs at the commission did this morning over there, we're going to be looked upon as the biggest villains in the history of this country for what we've done to our country without having responsible development and everything working in harmony, a balance with the environment. Because what you have is a prime example of what's going on here in Springfield and in your town. These developers buy up property outside of town because it's cheaper, and in the process they, destroy wildlife habitat. They destroy the aesthetics of the area, and in the meantime, the city, like the city of Springfield, Missouri, where I live, or the city where you live, it rots from the inside because the investment is not being made with inside of the city because it apparently costs some more money. So as a result, cities get more deteriorated, they decay, they go downhill, and you have all this ongoing and never-ending suburban and urban sprawl, and it's just shooting ourselves in the foot. And here's one thing about it. The next time you get a chance, guys, take a look at planet Earth from space. And when you see it, you're going to see this incredible blue dot in space. This is our ship. We don't have nothing else. We're out in the middle of this infinite universe where life is inhabitable anywhere. We have our little safe cocoon on here on Earth, and we are freaking crapping on our own house is what we're doing. Because we have people in positions of power right now that are too stupid, they're too ignorant, they're greedy, they're power hungry. Money corrupts everything. And that's what you're seeing right now. What we saw today at this Zoning and Planning Commission was a prime example of that, where you have no vision for the future of this country. It's all about making money, growing, try to get bigger, gaining power and profit, and screw the environment, screw the deer, screw the turkey, screw the aesthetics of the area. Let's put another vape shop in down the road. So I'm disgusted by it. And I tell you what, guys, I don't have a lot of faith that it's going to get better, because right now, we are in a position where we have people in positions of power right now that are nothing but balls to the wall, pro-growth, screw the environment, screw environmental regulations, screw environmental safeguards. We don't want to hear about it. We just want more, more, more. We want our bank accounts bigger. We want more power. It's just freaking disgusting. So anyway, if you're aware of it, guys, you know what I'm talking about. The same thing has happened to you. I hear this every time I do a video on like this. I hear people talk. There's two camps. This is what I'm going to get on this video. I'm going to get a bunch of comments about people saying, Randy, you're right on. This is happening in my community. The same thing happened down the road for me. And then you're going to have a minority of people say, oh, you can't stop growth. You can't stop progress. Go live in a tent, Randy, or go build a freaking, fort in the woods or something like that. I hear the same thing. Problem we have right now in this country was exemplified by what happened today is you have to have, in our world today, you have to have a balance between, environmental sustainability and the population to meet their needs and to sustain the population. And you have to have a balance, but there is no balance right now. The balance is tilted 100% on the side of business and development. Screw the environment, screw environmental safeguards, screw the health of the planet. We don't want to hear about it. I'm disgusted by it, man. And it's like everybody, you ought to have seen it, guys, at the meeting today. All the people that lived in the community, they were cussing, they were shaking their head. It's like, what the F? It's like, did you not hear a single word that we said? We laid out in detail why this commercial rezoning should not be approved, and you didn't hear a damn word we said. You're just going to completely go with that developer and you give no reason why you did it. A bunch of BS is what it is. So anyway, guys, a little riled up this morning about it. I'm just disgusted about it. I just wish we had people in the positions of power that had integrity and ethics and intelligence and critical thinking skills and scientific minded that have the ability to see what our actions are doing to future generations, because not right now we don't. We have a bunch of inept goobers in positions of power like we saw today that don't give a crap about anything except, power and profit and just whatever it is, but it ain't good, I'll tell you that. So anyway, guys, sorry for the rant there. Appreciate that. Shoot me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about it. We'll check in later.